Good morning, family. Thank you for joining in. I want to give honor to God, who's the head of my life. Thank God for this awesome day, for waking me up. Thank you for checking me out, Miss Sonia C. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys already know I am on my journey right now, and I'm sharing all my information that I have with you guys because I don't want to leave nobody out. I don't want nobody to be lost. But before I get started, let me also say, hold on. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. And I'm going to give you the disclaimer. If you have any kids, remove the kids. This is not a kid friendly session. This is rated R. This is rated R. This is real adult conversation. This is Taco Tuesday tea. Talk to me, okay? So I want it to be an open discussion. I would really appreciate if you all engage with me. We can talk back together. Ask me questions. So what I want to talk about today is drugs. I want to talk about drugs, and I want to talk about sex, and I want to talk about some of the thoughts and stuff that we have, some of the things that we go through as an addict. And listen, we don't. You may not be an addict. You may be an alcoholic, or you just may not be none of them, but you just would like to have some of the information. Okay, so I don't I just want to just share like just a few things with you guys about that. Hold on one second. Let me my phone real quick. What? Hold on. My son is in the other room. He's supposed to have these headphones on. Make sure. Okay, listen. I'm gonna get it. Let me. I'm trying to wait till more people come in here just in case anybody has any questions. Um, did you all know? Did you all know that when you have intercourse and when you have orgasm, your body lets off about 200 units of dopamine through your body? So when you have an orgasm, your body shoots off 200 units of dopamine through your body. So your brain gives you a reward of 200 units. And I'm thinking that's a pretty like regular average orgasm, 200 units. Maybe on a good day, it may be 300. I really don't know. I haven't, you know. So moving right along, when you add mind altering substances to the equation, when you add mind altering substances to the equation, let me tell you how I'm going to tell you exactly. You get 1250 when you use, okay, let me just be specific. When you use methamphetamines, and that comes in an e-pill, okay? You can get that. I mean, okay, so an e-pill, from what I remember, it has meth, coke, MDM. Um, it has some heroin in it. It has all. Listen, a e-pill is just a big mixture. It's like a gumbo of dope. So it's like a gumbo pot of drugs, So when you take all these mollies and pop all them pills, you're getting meth, crack, coke, heroin, and MDM. Is it MDM? That make you feel that make you feel good, ecstasy. That's what that is. It has just a little portion of that. But using meth gives you 1,250 units of dopamine released. Okay. So a lot of the times when people use drugs and they have sex, that orgasm is really, really intense. And that's why a lot of people want to get loaded and have sex. I don't know if you've ever been with anybody that has been chemically induced, um, you know, that mind altering substance. Their performance is different and everything is more intense. But there's a lot that comes with that. And if you guys are commenting, you know what? Let me jump to my Facebook because I don't see any comments here. And I would like for you all to please hit the like button if you are enjoying this conversation. Support your girl. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me get to my Facebook. Maybe you guys do have some questions. But I'm just going to let you know there's a whole lot that goes with that drug that you take, in the beginning it seems like, oh yeah, I'm getting loaded, and I'm gonna have me some good sex. After a while, you almost need that drug to feel good when you do have sex. And so we become dependent upon it, and next thing you know, it's like, damn, you need to have that drug in order to be satisfied with sex. And you really don't want to get to that point. You know, I don't know if you all can relate, but there was a time for me, if I didn't have a little bit of alcohol in my system, that person was probably not going to be attractive to me. Or ladies, did you know you don't need thousands? Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me get to my page so I can see any comments. I'm getting loaded and late, but that was for me. Okay, so if I didn't have a little bit of alcohol in my system, thank you guys. Was probably not going to be attractive to me. Hold on. Thank you guys. Thank you guys who are watching, and who are hitting the like. Please, thank you. Hit the like button. All right, so I'm gonna talk about. I had a friend, right? Thank you so much. I had a friend when I was this was years ago. I came across this man, and this is when I was in the lifestyle. Okay. Okay, so currently I have 5 months. It'll be 6 months, Lord willing. It'll be 6 months for me for my sobriety on the 25th of this month. Ooh, I just thank God it. But you know what? I'm taking it one day at a time. But I do want to just share a story that somebody shared with me. Somebody shared with me about 8 years ago. I remember I had met this guy, and I was in the meth game. Ooh, I hate saying that word, but let me just be quite honest. The only way I'm going to heal from any of this is by looking it right in the eye and coming at you straight, straight uncut. I got to give it to you. What do I have to lose? What, my name, slander? What, people going to talk about me? So what? They already throw stones at me. I don't even get half the support that I feel like I should get. We need to be supporting one another. These addicts out here, we need to share love. So anyways, enough of that. I'm sorry. That's just me in my head. But like I was simply trying to share is that I met this guy some years ago. And he was straight at one time in his life. And then he tried meth. I don't know what made him want to try meth, but he tried meth. And then he was smoking it at first. And then he tried. Okay, so let me just back up. After a while, when people do meth, they usually start off snorting it or smoking it, okay, chasing the dragon, or doing a little toot toot toot. But and then he started to slam it intravenously. That means, put it in a needle. And so he was doing that. And then he shared with me that he told me his story. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. He had caught HIV. Okay. He caught HIV, and he told me that he was straight when he started off, and then he started to slam. And maybe it was the crowd that he was hanging out with. I have no idea. But he did try men. He tried men for a while. And so that's what had happened. And he told me he was in, San Francisco, and this, that, and the other. And then, he was gay for a while. And during that time of his using and drugging and stuff, he contracted HIV. And then I don't know what happened later on. He must have moved to Sacramento, and um, he got with a lady. I think he had a child, and he said the child was cool or whatever. But he got with a lady, and so I think he's like bisexual now. I think that's what had happened. But when I had met him, let me just fast forward. The reason why he told me this story, because I I went to his house, and I was gonna go do some cleaning of his house. I was gonna clean his house up, and he was like, I was trying to get high. Let me just be real, because I need to get high if I'm gonna be around anybody's house and I'm about to do some cleaning up. That's just me. This was some years ago. Okay. But he said, look at them pills over there. Do you know what them pills are? And I was like, no, but mind you, I wasn't him and he was trying to talk to me, but I wasn't attracted to him. Plus I was still in a relationship. I forgot. I was still in a relationship with my baby dad, and we lived in Oak Park. But I was just at this guy's house, about to clean his house up and stuff. God bless you. God bless you. My son is in the room sneezing. And so, anyways, what I was simply trying to say is that he told me that whole story, like, it changed his judgment, when he started to use drugs and when he became bisexual. He opened up that door. When you do meth, you open up that door to try new things. And it was just a trip. It was just a trip that he was now, I don't know. He said, I can't remember. I think he went back to being bisexual, or he was straight when he was talking to me. You know what I mean? But he did tell me that he had his bisexual time. But he was trying to convince me that day when he was trying to show me the pills. He was like, well, it's, it's undetected. I take my medicine, blah, blah, blah. And, I had a girlfriend for all these years, and I think he was interested in me, but it wasn't going to happen at all. So I just want to share, okay. So the only reason why I shared that story is that that's just one story that I'm aware of, how somebody that was in my circle had contracted that through drugging, and he shared that story with me. And so I'm just sharing that story with you all, and going through these different things and seeing different people in my life. It has totally like warped my thought process. Especially when I was in my addict mind, I started to trip out, and I found myself looking closely at everybody that was in everybody that I was in the bed with. All of a sudden, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I want to do all men. And so it kind of just like haunted me, just different thoughts about men who use drugs. Of course, I'm not saying all men are bisexual or getting down like that, but I know that from my experience, a lot of people that I have met, even the gay men that I have met, have shared with me that their whole goal and trajectory is to turn a straight man, turn one, get one, have that shot at one. So no questions, huh? So nobody has any questions. Nobody wants to know anything. Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, I'm glad that you're watching. I'm glad that I can be informative. But yeah, it's a real dark world, and I would like to open the floor for some questions. Sometimes it is getting on here. It is kind of hard talking about certain things because nobody's talking back, and I don't know if if you want me to say something, if you want to ask me a question about anything in particular. I mean, I have so many stories, even my own stories, you know. I've never been pulled a into like a threesome type thing. People have asked me to join. Hold on, let me think, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me remember. I'm sorry. No, there was an experience, but it wasn't because of alcohol or drugs. It's a whole nother type of experience. It was something that was I didn't see it coming. It was just, but it was at a different time in my life. I didn't even experience any type of extracurricular stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so there's a phobia that goes on. Okay, well, praise the Lord. Wow. That's awesome. Go ahead. Wow, mine's was main entrance to hell. Do you guys know the acronym for meth? The acronym for meth is main entrance to hell. Main entrance to hell. It is completely it's a dark world, I'm gonna be honest. You know how when people describe meth addicts, they always say they just look like the Walking Dead. You know, that's how we felt inside as well at times. It's not as bad. Well, we don't think it's as bad as crack, but it goes undetected under the radar for so long. So that's just my story. How did I start? Good question. Thank you for your question. I'm going to tell you how I started. I used to do so I used to pop pills. That's drugs. E-pills, mollies, even hot pills. I mean hot pills, hot meds like Norcos, Oxycontin, Vicodin. Them are all drugs. Them are, if you take any of those, Xanax, them are all drugs. But I used to pop e-pills, and at first I was just a weekend warrior, just doing them when I go to the club. And by the way, I'm genetically predisposed to the disease of addiction. Okay, my dad was a crack addict. Right. Whoa. Okay, so my dad was a crack addict. My mom is a compulsive gambler. I have the best of both worlds, you guys. The best of both worlds. Um, and so what happened was I would be doing the e-pills every weekend, and then I knew I had a problem when I would go to work. I used to work at Verizon Wireless. Oh my God, that was so many years ago. And I would be so hungover and so tired from partying for the weekend. I had to pop pills at work. And one time when I didn't have the e pills, I had threw up. I had what I was going through withdrawals. That must have been the heroin. I was detoxing from the heroin because I never had withdrawals before. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, that was heroin coming out of my body. Um, and so one day I was trying, okay, so that's just one thing that happened. But one day when I was coming down on the pill, I needed some more. I didn't have any. And so I decided to um what happened? I went to my partner's house. Went to my friend's house, and and I told her I needed some another e pill. I needed something because I was tired, and so you know her thing was meth, and I did a poem, you guys. I don't know if it's a poem. It is like a goodbye letter. I did a goodbye letter, and it's called "Goodbye, My Nigga." I was talking about meth, okay, but she passed me the thing and she showed me how to smoke it. I went straight into smoking it. Boom. It wasn't no other way. Um and I was amused by the clouds, by the smoke. That's what did it for me. And yeah. And so basically when I first tried it, it just basically had me up. It just had me up. It didn't do anything spectacular. That was just the beginning. It just had me up. But and then it was something that I could do all the time. And then I found myself going to work, and then on my work lunch, my on my lunch break, I would be in the car doing that with some dang foil. I didn't even realize what was going on. Like I am a real life um Breaking Bad needing an intervention right there in the parking lot of my job. And I'm very young and I don't even realize that it is really, really bad. Plus the gambling. See, let me just tell you what was going on in my life is that I was going through a really, really bad depression. I had a baby. I was at the end of my relationship when I have a daughter, she's 19 years old, and her dad, he was back and forth from LA to and taking her from me, and I was having nervous breakdowns at work, and I just coped with it by gambling and by clubbing, and with clubbing came the e-pill. When there was no more e-pill, then came I shared it, main entrance to hell. Yeah. Right. Right. Well, okay. So a friend says she's not a friend. Okay, let me just tell you like this. My friend who did pass me the thing, I can't remember if I asked her or if she said, "That's all I got." Like, this is what it is, I really can't remember. I'm not going to blame her for I'm not going to blame her for that because I was like, I need something. And she was just as sick as me. She was in her addiction. And so when a friend is in their addiction, they'll get you loaded before they get you clean. And so That's exactly what had happened. And yeah, it's a hard thing to shake. Like right now I'm in my recovery. I do have me occasional drink. I'm not an alcoholic, like I said. I do have an occasional drink. But I bet you if I called my old friends, go to my old playgrounds, they may have them people have good hearts, but they probably won't turn me away if I need a bag. You know. So at the end of the day, we got to make our own choices, and that's what it all boiled down to. You know, that's why I'm making a change. That's why I do my YouTube. That's why I'm on Facebook, because I want to restore hope to my people. You know, for I've been gambling for 20 years, but that other life, I would say like 16 years, and a lot of people did not know. And there's a lot of people that live that secret too. And it doesn't have to be meth. Listen, that's the ugly one, okay? But there are things like alcohol, there are things like weed that affect people's daily life, you know? Um, People that smoke weed. I know y'all always probably gonna always do your 420. I'm not mad at you. But when you don't have your weed, how do you feel? Do you feel cranky? Do you get moody? Do you snap? Do you do one of those, oh, I need to get me a bag. She's stressing me out. Is that Do you respond like that? Well, if you do, well then maybe that's something that you may want to look into, or look into other ways of coping with your frustrations, you know? Cuz anytime we have to put something in our body, that's when we have a problem. You know, don't let nothing be the God of you. God is supposed to be your God. You know, you don't need weed. You choose to have weed because that's how you want to cope. You choose to inhale, exhale with that cigarette. I stopped smoking cigarettes. To God be the glory. Look, I've been smoking cigarettes for what? 20, 20, 20, 20 something, 25 years or so. That was, I didn't think I can stop, you guys. But when I found out that I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me, and when I believed it, and when I stepped out in faith and I acted upon it, see, that's when it happens. It is not me. It is not me. It is greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I am not able to stand here on my own and share this if it wasn't God working through me to come on here. This takes a lot of humiliation. I'm very humiliated, and I'm afraid that my kids may be embarrassed. But it's bigger than me. It's bigger than my kids. This is God's will. And if you hear this, if you're watching this, give yourself a chance. You know, if you are still able to make change and live your life, then why not? You know what I'm saying? I never thought that I can go this long without going to the casino. When I got in recovery last time, I think I had like, at the most, it was like 7 months. But I was fighting for my kids at the time, and it was so hard to do that 7 months. But it was so easy for me to go back out, especially when CPS told me after I did my services that I wasn't getting my baby back. That was one of the hardest things that I ever had to go through. And so I just got the fuckets. Let me just be real. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? I worked that hard. I had all these kids, and then all my kids being taken from me. And that was one of the hardest things. And I never really grieved. I didn't get on here to talk about my kids. I didn't get on here to talk about none of that. I just wanted um, to share about the sex thing with you guys. Um, you know, I had one idea and then it went to another. Yeah. No, thank you. I know I masked it very well because between the casino and and um and that using between having those two coping mechanisms, I was able to cover it up very well. You know, I was able to cover it up very well. And so, yeah, that's why a lot of people didn't know. But I do know that there's a lot of people going through this, a lot of people that I know that have lost their children and just have given up hope. And I want to restore that hope back into the hopeless. And so that's just what I'm here to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. But I did want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my stories with you. I hope you enjoyed it. And please share. Please share my story. Information is free. Share it to somebody. Somebody else may need to hear it. And if you are not subscribed to my YouTube, please subscribe. Thank you so much. And God bless.